Are you confused which numbing to use for permanent makeup, or even whether you can? What are the best numbing creams available, and what do you need to know about secondary numbing? Hi, I'm Katie Schofield and I'm an artist and trainer here in the UK. I train in person or online all over the world, so if you'd like to train with me, then click either the train in person or the train online link in the description and we'll see how I can help you. Are you a member of my Facebook group Permanent Excellence? Well, if not, it's a place where you can post your work and get help in a supportive environment, and I've put a link there too. My full mentorship program is launching soon with courses, online skills training, and advice on how to grow your PMU business. You can register your interest today for preferential rates. Numbing is a widely used technique in permanent makeup procedures, and it's for a good reason. It helps minimize discomfort and pain during the process, making it much more tolerable for your client. The numbing cream or gel is applied to a targeted area before the procedure, which helps to numb the skin and reduce pain. It works by stopping nerves from sending pain signals to your brain, and this ensures that the client is comfortable throughout the process and doesn't experience any unnecessary discomfort. Numbing also helps the technician to work with more precision and accuracy, as the client is less likely to move or flinch due to pain. This in turn can lead to better results and a more satisfying outcome for the client. Additionally, the use of secondary numbing gel can reduce swelling and inflammation after the procedure, which aids in the healing process. While numbing is a popular technique in permanent makeup procedures, there are also reasons why it may not be the best option for some clients. Some people may be allergic to the ingredients in the numbing cream or gel, which can lead to severe reactions and discomfort. In these cases, it's essential to avoid using numbing and explore alternative options to minimize pain and discomfort during the procedure, such as ice. Primary and secondary numbing are two different techniques used in permanent makeup procedures. Primary numbing involves the application of numbing cream or gel to the targeted area before the procedure, and it's usually about 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. Primary numbing is typically used for smaller areas or for less invasive procedures, as it may not last long enough for more extensive work. Secondary numbing, on the other hand, involves the application of numbing solution directly to the broken skin during the procedure. This technique is often used for more extensive or complicated procedures, as it provides a longer lasting numbing effect than primary numbing, and its effects are much quicker than topical cream. By far the most effective numbing cream I've had used on me is Pink Cream by Brow Sister. So I chatted to Victoria Glam about numbing and her products. So I'm joined by Victoria Glam today. Well, Victoria Racker, but you may know her as Victoria Glam. And she's here to talk about her new numbing, which is Pink Cream and also Pink Gel. So can you tell me how this came about?
Sure. So I came up with Pink Gel in about 2020, and I don't think that I reinvented the wheel here. I just knew that every once in a while, and I think a lot of people know this, every once in a while, some of the mainstays in numbing go out of stock, and it's incredibly difficult to get it back in stock. So I said, you know what, there's a hole in the market. Let me fill it. I have a friend down in Miami who is a chemist, and we kind of broke down formulas that I did like, added in things that I wanted, and I think one of the things that made Pink Gel a winner right away was, number one, the fact that I got it, I think, at a pretty stable price point.
Mm-hmm.
But number two, once people were actually using it, it's a little bit more viscous than other numbing gels that we've seen. So it's able to penetrate that top layer of skin and get down to the nerves a little bit quicker. And of course, it's got that same formula that everybody loves, 4% lidocaine. Also, the tetracaine is in there. The epinephrine is in there. So it is a vasoconstrictor. And I just can't keep the shit in stock, which, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's flying off the shelves, and I will actually say I've not actually tried the pink gel yet. I've not been lucky enough to try it, but I actually tried your pink cream on myself when I was in America with you. And that went on and on. Like, I was numb for a long time after that. So I was really keen to use that in my treatments.
Yeah, thank you. So with Pink Cream, I wanted something that was going to be a little bit stronger than a lot of the topicals I had been using, and also fit into the pink family, right? So it is Pink Cream, it is Pink Gel, but I added some ingredients in there that make it just a little bit stronger. I think a lot of people, when they think strong topical, they think of BLTs, benzocaine, lidocaine, and tetracaine. I did, I guess you could call it a PLT. So it's prilocaine, lidocaine, and tetracaine. So they all have different lives of like how long they last in the skin and everything, but that prilocaine is actually able to act a little bit faster. So, and then the lidocaine seeps in, which is pretty strong acting. So actually we're a favorite for lip numbing because, you know, lips are so vascular. There's that nerve right in the center and they're pretty uncomfortable usually. Still a little bit of discomfort with lips. I mean, it's not intradermal. I can't inject it to block, like do a dental block or something, but it's much more bearable. And I noticed a marked difference with my clients right away.
Well, I've been using it. Well, I put it on my own lips, but I've also been using it on lip clients, particularly on people that have had the lips done before or who've had, say, lip filler and they've had the lips numbed before. They are all seeing a huge difference to the point that they're going, this is some new level of numbing. So it's a visible difference as an artist for me to see that my clients are way more comfortable.
Yeah, it's that PLT, baby. So in numbing, you have two different kind of like groups of numbing, right? There are amides and there are esters. A real quick, easy way to cheat and remember which is which is if it has two I's in the word, it's an amide or amide, depending on how you pronounce it. If it has only one I in the word, it's an ester. So like tetracaine is an ester and lidocaine with L-I, cane has an I in it, would be an amide, right? Amides tend to be a little bit less reactive. So if you only used esters in the skin, they tend to be the ones that kind of, since they're a little bit more reactive with humans, I guess, yeah. Those are the ones that people have allergic reactions to. So you have to be pretty careful with the tetracaine in there. But generally everything else is in that like super safe category of amides, the prilocaine, the prilocaine, the epinephrine, the lidocaine, all of that is very safe. I do have a little tetra in there, but I've not experienced any adversity. But one of the ingredients that you might see on the label, listen, if you ever turn something around and look at the label, a lot of the things that you see in that product are things that are just necessary for any product to exist, right? Things that extend the shelf life, things that hold the actual like composition together, things that are just a vehicle to hold the ingredients that you need, right? Like various creams or liquids or whatever. One of the things you see in there is called, I don't want to pronounce it wrong. I wrote it down. Lecithin. That's how you pronounce it. That's how you say that word out loud. Lecithin. And I actually had someone call me, like find my actual personal phone number and call me and ask me what that was, which I thought was hysterical because I don't even know where this lady lives, but randomly she called me. She was like, hi, I bought your shit and I want to know how to say this word. Lecithin. What is that? So lecithin is actually pretty dope. It's added in there because it works with the fats in your body. Like you get this in your natural diet, right? It works.
I was going to say, I've seen that as an ingredient in food, lecithin.
Yep. It works with the fats in your diet and it turns into something called choline, which is similar to like a nutrient like vitamin B or something. So lecithin works in a chemical composition in order to be like an emulsifier, also to disperse all of the chemicals that you want to use, like the lidocaine, the tetracaine. It's dispersing those things across the surface area. It prevents moisture loss in the area. So it's also keeping your tube basically from drying out so that it extends the shelf life a little bit. And it also controls the viscosity. So as you put in more or less, if you want to thicken or lighten it, probably because it works with the fats. But the reason that we love it is because as it's turning into choline, it actually works with the nerves faster. It gets to the nerves faster because that's its whole job in your diet, in your body, is to carry messages from one nerve to the next. And it's doing exactly that, numbing you even faster. And when we started talking about that and I really started studying it, I was like, I need to learn how to pronounce this word because that gonna sell the shit out of this.
Lecithin. Yeah.
That's not it.
Would you say that is something that affects positively affects the texture of your cream? Because what I've noticed when I'm using it, a lot of other numbing creams dry out quite quickly and they seem to stop working when they dry out, but yours seems to sort of cast this lovely sort of sheen on the skin. Is that something that helps it work for longer?
Yeah, it's the moisturizing effect. It keeps it, as soon as it's dry, it's kind of done working. As long as you can keep it moisturized, it's going to continue its journey. And listen, each of those ingredients has a different like half-life, right? Of how long it's going to last in the skin. So I can tell you that Prilocaine is the shortest. It lasts about 30 minutes or so. While that's working hard, the lidocaine's gearing up. Lidocaine can stay with you for about an hour. That tetracaine, the one that everybody actually really loves, even though it's an ester, that one can last about 2 to 3 hours in the skin. So when you're using that secondary numbing, that's usually pretty famous for having some tetracaine in it. That's the one that really soothes people. It's probably because it's got more tetracaine in it than most topicals do. Plus, I mean, it's already working inside of the body.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, obviously the secondary gets to work quicker because the skin is broken. So it's getting to the nerves quicker.
Yes, especially with the lecithin.
Yeah, I'm loving that. I've learned so much just from this short chat.
So I was going to bust out the organic chemistry for you.
And so you're finding your sales are, I mean, you can't keep it on the shelves at the moment, which is probably why I've not tried any pink gel, because I can't actually get hold of any.
Yeah, how embarrassing to have you at my home, in my home studio, and I didn't have my own numbing for you.
But that's just testament to how popular it is at the moment. And that's what I said. Like I don't just buy into things. This is visibly working quicker on my clients and they're more comfortable. So it's been, yeah, it's certainly different from anything that I've used before. So you've clearly done your homework on it.
I have. Yeah, I actually have a degree from the University of Louisiana in have a bachelor's of science. And so I took a lot of courses that have to do, I mean, I'm no chemist, but I took a lot of courses that, once I actually started studying this and working with a chemist, it was making sense to me, or I knew where to look if I didn't know answers. I didn't want to be someone who just slaps their name on a product and says, buy my shit, buy my shit. I didn't want that. I wanted to really, truly understand it and be able to hone it over time and understand my produst.
And what can we look forward to in the future? Are there any more products coming out in the Brow Sister range? Because I'm excited if there are.
There's something new coming out. I don't want to talk about it just yet, but there is something very new coming out. I'm super excited. I think that it's something that the market is missing, and it's just going to bring your client even more comfort.
Mm-hmm. And would you say the difference in the UK is with numbing is that it depends on the not state. I've spent too much time in America. The local authority in your area depends on whether you can use numbing at all, or whether they're happy about it, or there's no numbing, or sometimes they're like, your client can put it on, but they have to do it themselves. Does that change in America as well? Is the different laws with numbing? Because it seems to be a little bit more freely used over in America.
Yeah, I don't know that there's necessarily, I think like if it's prescription strength, so if you had like a hard BLT, you have to get that prescription and then you have to get it compounded somewhere. Then if you don't have a medical director, you shouldn't be applying it to people. But in general, in most areas, just a regular topical or secondary are totally allowed.
Yeah, we have the 4%. The 4%.
Yeah.
So we've got like the famous ones, LMX4 and EMLA, they're the 4%, and they're okay to be, you can buy those online yourself, but you'll usually have to fill in some details. So I wondered if there's quite a big change in local authorities as to where you work, as to what you can do over here. But generally they're like, if the client wants to do it themselves, that's fine.
By the way, Katie, pink gel is 4%. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's 4% over here is totally fine, but a lot of the time you may run into some issues with who can apply it, and some local authorities don't allow you to use it at all. So it's a bit like you have different laws in different states,
right? Alice Kingdom is actually our exclusive brand carrier in the UK, and she was telling me, she's kind of walked me through all of that, like who's our client, who is not our client, whatever. But she was kind of telling me that usually the workaround is just saying, here's some numbing, and then letting the client put it on. So I guess that's like not necessarily blanket okay, but in more places than not, it's okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some people don't have any.
So funny to me. What a strange rule. Like, I can't put it on, but then I live in Louisiana. Like, I can sell you a daiquiri while you're driving, but don't put your straw in. Scout's honor. So you can use numbing, but don't you use it. Have your client use it. Scout's honor.
When I was licensed, there were no laws here. It was just like, they didn't say either way. They were just fine with it. I think that things are changing slightly, and some places don't allow you to use it at all. But I think that with things like lips and eyeliner, that feels incredibly cruel.
Yeah. I can't imagine doing lips and eyeliner without numbing.
Yeah, that seems a little unfair. but maybe they don't know the market. So it's been great catching up with you, and I think that that's given people a real insight, not just into what you do, but how numbing works and what they should be looking for. And I'm really excited to hear what's coming in your new range as soon as possible.
You'll hear first, and
I
then
know.
we'll tell everyone else.
So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Katie. And if you guys are interested in any of our products, you can, if you're in the UK, you can hit up Alice Kingdom. And if you're just about anywhere else in the world, you can go to browsister.com and I will ship to you at whatever that costs.
And we'll put a link in the description under the video.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Do you have any more questions about numbing in permanent makeup? Comment below. If you want to see me performing an eyeliner safely? Then I made this video here. That's it for today, and I'll see you next time.